Simon, what are your thoughts?
I think it's just basically keep Jaime active and hopefully he's getting a big fight next year.
Surace's only ever fought in France.
Doesn't seem to have much power. I think he's only got 4 knockouts in his 22 fights.
Yeah, he's not exactly heavy-handed.
In an ideal world, Munguia against Plant. Who do you think's the best?
On Billy, probably. But I don't think he's quite there yet. I think he's the one who could be. Welcome back to BoxCast. In this episode, we're going to look at the upcoming fight between Jaime Munguia and Bruno Surace. Yes, who? But we'll get into that in a sec. Let's do the tail of the tape. So Jaime Munguia has a record of 44 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws. Surace is 25 wins, 0 losses, and 2 draws. Jaime Munguia has had 45 fights, 35 of his 44 wins by knockout. He's age 28, he's 6 foot tall, which is 183 centimetres. He's a reach of 72 inches, which is 183 centimetres. This is at super middleweight, and he's got an orthodox stance. Super middleweight being 168 pounds and 76 kilos, I think. Bruno Surace has had 27 fights, 4 of his 25 wins by KO. He's age 26. He's the same height as 6 foot, 183 centimetres. Don't know what his reach is, so if you know, let us know. And he also fights out an orthodox stance. This is taking place at I'm going to butcher this name, but anyway, Estadio de Baseball Chevron at Tijuana, Mexico, on the 14th of December, 2024. So, Simon, what are your thoughts?
Just the run out in it.
It's just a warm-up, isn't it? Because this is the first. Surace's only ever fought in France. Against people we won't even know, but we didn't know who he was, so who he's fought against. And this is his first fight, I think, outside of France. Professional fight, anyway. Yeah. Is it anything more than a warm-up? Or
no, I think it's just to give Jaime some rounds.
Keep him busy.
Yeah. It's only a 10 round as well, isn't it?
Let me have a look.
I'm sure it's only a 10 rounder.
Yeah. So just a warm-up, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, just keep him active, which is good.
Well, that's the other thing, yeah. Surace's only ever fought 1, 2. This will be his third 10-round fight, and he's had one. His last fight was a 12-round. Other than that, it's like 6s and 8s, so it's worse, doesn't it?
Like I said, I think it's just basically keep Jaime active and hopefully he's getting a big fight next year. Who against? Who knows? Is Surace going to cause him problems? I think
we don't really know.
I think he might frustrate Jaime for a couple of rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem to have much power. I think he's only got 4 knockouts in his 22 fights.
Well, it's 27 fights he's got. 25 wins, 4 knockouts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's not exactly heavy-handed. Just a warm-up, really.
Yeah.
I don't think even with our best of will, and we try and give everybody build-up, I'm not sure I can give him a build-up.
The only problem you get with these fights...
But he could be brilliant.
Yeah, I doubt it. But the only problem you can get with these fights sometimes is complacency.
Yeah. Is he going to take it seriously? Is he going to motivate him enough to be up for it?
I mean, because you'd say...
Or is he going to try too hard? Like, just put on get him out of there quick just to, make a statement.
I mean, he is one of the more
trouble.
Active super middleweights at the moment, isn't he, Jaime? I mean, all right, yeah, the opponents... I mean, he had Canelo, then he had that...
Bazinian, I think.
Yeah, and now is that 3 fights in 1 year?
Well, this is his second fight, isn't it, after... So, Bazinian... It was... Obviously, Canelo was his first loss. And then he's had Bazinian, and then this is Surace. So, this Bazinian one was in September. So, it's about 3 months after. So, to be fair, he's keeping
Oh, no,
fairly...
do you know what? No, look, he fought John Ryder in January.
Yeah.
Canelo in May, Bazinian in September.
This is 4 fights.
So 4 fights away. He's keeping nice and active, which is good.
Because if you consider in 2023, he only had one fight against Derevchenko in the middle, and his last fight was October, so it's like a fair bit of a jump.
Yeah, we just want to see him.
So that's good.
You know, take away Canelo, because obviously he's the champion. He hasn't got the IBF belt, though, has he? I think Skull's got the IBF. Yeah,
got it now.
But there's some massive fights there.
Ranking somewhere, yeah.
You know, you've got Caleb Plant and Billy, Skull, Belanga. There's some huge fights there that.
There's a load in that division behind. If you take Canelo out, there's a
that's
load.
What I mean.
It's
But
a tasty division.
are they just ignoring each other and hoping like, oh, when a belt becomes available, then we'll fight for? But I don't think that's right. I think they should be fighting against each other now.
Well, if you take out Canelo, obviously the thing. If you take rings, even thing. There's Munguia, Mambili, Iglesias, Pacheco, Plant, Skull, Shishkin, Belanga, Bazinian, and Martinez. And he's fought against Bazinian, but
it's a good top. It's a good.
And then there's probably, because that's the ring one, and then there's some like other ones in there that like in the different rankings. So you've got there's a lot of good, like you've said, lot of like fights to be made there.
And they should be making them fights. And
now, yeah,
hopefully next year.
Skull is the IBF champion, isn't he?
Yeah.
So you've got a potential title.
Yeah, but there's no mandatory for him yet, is there?
No.
I think Billy's like third.
Shishkin's second, when Billy's third. Pacheco, then Munguia is fifth.
Mate, just having Billy against Munguia, that's a great fight.
Well, I think Billy's the guy on the up there, isn't he? Because he's still unbeaten and he looks...
Another Frenchman?
Yeah. Canadian Frenchman, so he can get... Well, the thing is, I've seen a bit of things. Let me know what you think of this. Give me a sec. I'll just load this record up. That, like, it's just a padded out record for Jaime Munguia.
You could say that about Canelo for his first 40 fights. So,
well, what I was going to say is if you go back from there, all right, Bazinian, Surace, you can say but Bazinian's in the top 10. So take Surace out. You got Canelo, John Ryder, Sergey Derevchenko, Gonzalo Correa. All right, you're stepping down a little bit, but if you go before. But they're not like rubbish fighters. They've all got like, 21-1, 21-2 records, 33. I think he's fought Liam Smith as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Although when he was middleweight.
He's a good fighter, Munguia. His loss to Canelo didn't damage him.
Super welter he fought him, I don't know.
I thought he did really well against Canelo, to be fair. But he should be pushing on now. Get them...
Well, there's a belt available now, which has obviously got to be the aim. So you can't get the Canelo ones.
Even
if
there isn't a belt available, go and fight the Caleb Plants, the Belangas, the Billies. Massive fights.
So, and it builds up your
I know they want it.
Resume and a thing again.
Yeah, I know they want titles on the line, and yeah.
Well, in that division, I think you're right. There's enough to make interesting fights.
You see, people will say, Canelo should vacate the belt. Why should he? Because he's fought Munguia, he's fought Belanga.
He's fought everybody, stepped up.
He could fight Billy next. Everyone's saying, he needs to fight David Benavidez. Benavidez moved up to light heavyweight.
He's got other plans now.
So forget about it. Munguia could force another shot against Canelo.
Well, I think that's what they want. It's a close fight other than the knockdown. It's actually pretty close really if you analyse it. Yeah, Canelo just had that a bit more experience.
But I like Munguia. I think Munguia is a future champion. But throw him in now. Get these big fights in the super middleweight. That super middleweight
I think he's
division.
Good enough to have. He could rumble with any of the other lot.
Yeah, it's not just.
And you want to see it.
That super middleweight division could be so exciting. It really, really could.
Well, I think all of them could make good money even without titles on the line.
Yeah.
If you take, like I said, if you take Canelo out, it's still really good. Except most people don't know those people. Right, Caleb Plant's got a name, but but there's a lot of good boxers in there that I think they need to sort themselves out and be the ones to challenge.
Be interesting.
Canalo's not going to be there forever.
I'd like to know who Munguia will call out after he wins.
Yeah.
When he wins, if he wins, even. That'll be interesting to see who he calls out. But
I think even the bookies had difficulty working out the odds because they probably didn't know who was better.
I just don't see anything but a Munguia win, to be honest.
Odds are 1-16 on 15-2 against. So, like, that's the highest I think I've seen one-sided.
It is. It's very, very one-sided.
You can understand why. So that's no disrespect to Surace, but yeah. You're going to a different country for the first time. You're stepping up in class level. You know, Munguia still has fought, you know, world-class level fighters. So, yeah. I don't think it's much more than that. What do you reckon then? What's the...
4th round KO? 5th round KO?
Yeah. You pick one, I'll have the other one.
I'll have the 5th then.
I'll have the 4th.
I just don't see anything. I can't see it going past that, to be honest. I think one time he works him, I think it'll take him a couple of rounds. I think he'll want to get a couple of rounds under his belt, though, as well, to be fair.
Yeah. I think I can see it going to about halfway.
Yeah.
I can't really see it going... Because he's not going to be that worried about the power if the guy's got no punch. And then that's really the only chance.
But again,
But if he's skillful enough in boxing, he may be frustrating for a bit, but I think you're going to get found out. And then.
But then after this, seriously, next year...
So who do you want to see him fight?
Caleb Plant.
Yeah, I think we've said this before, and that would be a good... It's a good measuring stick.
Yeah, and I don't really like Caleb Plant.
Yeah, we want Munguia to win.
So that's why I just want... I'd like to see...
Well, to be fair, I don't like Caleb Plant, but I respect that.
Yeah.
He doesn't really back down from
No,
opponents,
we don't back down from
and
no
he
one.
puts up a good
I'd like
fight.
to see, in an ideal world, Munguia against Plant, Balanga versus Mbili,
That'd be a hell of a fight.
Pacheco versus Squall.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them fight at super middleweight.
Yeah.
I think they're good fights.
Yeah. And you'd have Martinez and one of the others. I think Martinez is fighting. Can we mention him on one of our things? I can't remember. Unless it was another Martinez.
Maybe.
Argentina. I think there's more than one there. Yeah. I think it'd be good to see.
So, roll on 2025 for the super middleweight division. Let's get it exciting again because there's some cracking fights there.
Yeah.
That could be the hot division. It really, really could. If they make the fights, it really
well, I think
could
there's
be,
so many of them that could be like the
could be the really hot division.
big stars, and it's close. I don't think there's any really other than Canelo. Nobody's head and shoulders. above
Oh,
the
I
rest.
mean, if they made them fights, we'd be struggling for predictions.
Yeah, they're all.
You'd be like,
they're all close.
ooh, yeah. So let's get them made. Come on.
Well,
off.
yeah, he's gonna. Well,
Yeah.
I don't mind who wins, but we're Munguia fans, so we'll stick on there. He should get through it, and I like he's keeping busy, even if. Because you never know what fight they can make. It's easy saying it, but they've got to make it, and then it's what the other guys want as well, isn't it? So everybody's playing the game. But yeah,
Especially with the money around in boxing at the moment. So
well, we'll touch on that in some other episodes. I think I've just seen the purse for one of the other fights that's coming up.
wow.
So, yeah, I think that's predictions. There's no more to say on that.
No,
So
I think,
let us know what you think. What do you think about Munguia fighting Surace? Do you like he's keeping busy, or do you not want to see him fight
Are you fed up?
people you don't know who it is?
Yeah.
And do you want to see some of those fights we've mentioned being made, or which matchups do you think would be
The best.
good? Let us know in the comments.
Which is the best super
Yeah, outside of
middleweight
Canelo,
fight?
who's the best super middleweight? Obviously, take Benavidez out because he's not in there.
He's
so we
not
don't
super
want that.
middleweight,
So,
so forget it.
he's not a super middleweight. So outside of them two, out of all the others, who do you think is the best?
Who do you think's the best?
On Billy, probably. But I don't think he's quite there yet. I think he's the one who could be.
Okay.
I like Munguia the most
Yeah.
because he was handsome. But I think there's enough in him, Billy, that you can see him doing something. Although I think he does need to get a little bit better. He's, I think he's a little bit rough around the edges. If he tunes it up a bit, I think. But he's got an engine's fantastic.
Okay.
His punch up. Go on. Who do you think?
To toss it between Mbili and Munguia, closely followed, and I mean closely followed, by Balanga and Pacheco.
Yeah.
I think them four could just... I don't put Caleb Plant in the same as them four. I think he's a tier below.
Yeah. I think if it was the same for world titles, I think, yeah.
But then you can't.
But I haven't seen Skull is good.
Yeah, it's, you know, I was going to say you can't.
And Martinez is quite good coming up, although I think he's a bit less experienced than him.
It's a really good, it's a good division. But yeah, and Billy for me. And Billy Munguia, I like that.
Yeah.
But we might be completely wrong.
Well, yeah, there's a Glaciers as well, isn't it? Cuban, I think, isn't it? And Skull are Cubans. Pacheco is, you know, and they're Pacheco, Iglesias, and Skull are all unbeaten as well. Martinez is unbeaten. Belanga, again, his only losses to Canelo again, so the same as Munguia. And there's Shishkin as well, although I think he's been beaten by one of these, isn't it? So I think he's more like a plant. I think the others is all... It's a tasty division.
Yeah, it is.
You need to get some fights made. Like between themselves, not with, you know, the others. Plant is a good measure because it's a measure of, are you at the step above? Because if he beats you, then I think you're level below. But yeah, I think it's tasty. Okay, thank you very much for watching, listening, and like, subscribe, the usual goodness. Let us know in the comments what you think, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.